Hey guys, I just wanted to come on here and talk about online dating. So, I am 51 years old and I have been doing online dating for about a week now. And let me just tell you how horrible it actually is. I did online dating a year ago and it wasn't as bad, but this year it is even worse. I can't tell you how many rude messages that I have received, how many people like either I have matched with or I match with people and then they just don't even respond or they reach out. How are people supposed to meet somebody or become successful with online dating? And the one thing that I have noticed when you first sign up with online dating, you're going to match with all of these people. You can't maintain 20, 10, 15 conversations. And then if they do message you, there's just no sustenance to the conversation. I had one person message me and say, "Hey, what's up?" That's generally not a way to start a conversation. I mean, I've had a few nice messages where they were like, "Hi, nice to meet you. Would like to take you out on a date sometime." Those messages I love. But, "Hey, what's up?" Um, or the fact that I matched with somebody, we were talking, we exchanged numbers, we talked about going to breakfast, and then all of a sudden, poof, gone, ghosted. This is another thing that is very irritating about online dating because you make plans with somebody and then all of a sudden they just completely ghost you. And I'm like, what's the purpose of that? Just tell me, hi, I'm no longer interested in meeting you. Wishing you all the best. But make plans with somebody. So I put my time aside to come and meet you. And then you freaking just ghost me out of nowhere. Like, that is the tackiest thing I have ever, encountered. Um, Online dating has become just such a distraction. So my girlfriend, who is also single, she is she matched with a few people, exchanged numbers. All of a sudden, like poof, gone. You know, if you're truly not interested in somebody, don't waste your time. That's just kind of how I feel. I know it's like I don't know. I feel like people should start meeting other people in other places. Maybe places should have more like speed dating events, but this whole online dating thing is just such a complete and utter destruction. Now, do I think people have become successful on it? Of course. However, I know that I am not a size 4 or a size 10. I totally get that. But I feel like with online dating, the guys are just shopping for that perfect woman. And I'm like, okay, so even though I can be kind, I can be caring, I'm not out to screw people, I'm not out to hurt anybody, I'm just looking for a genuine connection. They're going to see me as somebody like, yeah, no, not going to date you because of how you look. And I don't know if that stigma is ever going to change. Maybe it has never changed. Maybe it was always like that. But I feel like, it online dating is just so darn difficult. I matched with one person, and this is the other thing that irritates me, is that how many good morning messages can you actually send somebody? But this is somebody that I matched with like last year. We ended up exchanging snaps, which is fine with me. I don't mind using Snap, and then I don't have to give out my number. But I'm like, he would just send good morning. That's it. That's the end of the conversation. Nothing else. Just good morning. Good morning. That's it. Okay, what is the purpose of connecting with somebody and all you do is just send a good morning snap? And then you send me a good morning snap shirtless. That's disgusting. Like, I'm sorry. I don't know you, number one. You don't need to send me shirtless snaps. I was like, I finally said something to him. I'm like, do you own any clothes? Like, every snap like, I don't, like, you're not going to get me into bed. I don't find this sexy. Like, I don't appreciate this. But guys, stop sending women good morning messages. Like, if you're just doing it to fish to see who bites, like, that's just immature. I think it's time for people to start becoming a little bit more mature. But then I have to ask myself, when it comes to dating in general, each sides of the coin complain. Men complain, women, we definitely complain about online dating and that men aren't really men anymore. But at the end of the day, who is the problem in all of this? We can be the problem too because we're allowing it. And that's where that comes in. We're allowing the behavior. We don't say anything. We kind of just participate and let it continue, but then we complain about it. So I think in those sense, we actually complain about the problem. But overall, like, I can see why so many people that are 50 and above just want to stay alone. I'm not looking for, I told one guy, I said, because he was like, oh, do you want to meet up at night? Hell no, I don't. My first dates, coffee dates only. And the reason for that is because if we don't vibe or there's not a match, I'm not comfortable eating in front of you for the first time. Now, some people might want to have a nice dinner, and that's okay, but I don't. Coffee dates, plain, simple. Let's meet. Let's see if there's a connection and hang out a few more times before we actually go out to eat, because it's like, I don't know. I don't like eating in front of people I don't know. It's just a self-conscious thing, I guess. I think that, online dating, it's getting worse, and it's just getting worse. And I think people's expectations and realities, like I was talking to my son about this. He's 26. He hates online dating. He's just like, he, you know, he gave up a long time ago. He's like, forget this. He has a girlfriend now, but at the end of the day, at what point are dating apps going to be helpful to the single people? And yes, I know some dating apps restrict to how many connections that you have per day, which I think is good. You limit it because all of a sudden you can match with like 50 people. And if you can't maintain all of those conversations at once, it's just too darn difficult. I haven't tried Tinder. I won't go on Hinge. I feel like that's more for like the younger generation. Facebook dating, Bumble, I think are two, the most popular. But I think everybody's expectations and stigmas, around, I don't know. I just feel like online dating has just become too darn difficult. And I don't know. I'm on here, wanting to ask you guys, what do you think the answer is? And I think so many people are just so fed up, they're so burnt out, and online dating can do that to you. What is the answer in meeting somebody? And especially when you are a good, genuine person, you may not have the perfect looks, you may not have the perfect body. And I get it that guys are very visual, physical looks, I think, are important, and they're important to women too. I think people's expectations are just like poof, gone. Like, I don't know. It's very frustrating, and I'm just not sure what the answer is anymore. And I just see more and more people just choosing to be alone. That's it. They're like, well, I'll just be single forever. I'll just be alone. Like, forget it. My friend and I had this conversation, like, being 50, I don't think sometimes we feel like we're just never going to find that true, genuine connection, and we're just never going to find somebody that, truly means anything. And, maybe people that, I don't know, because I don't know, is it more the men that just don't want connections anymore? And, I watch I watch dating advice from guys too. Like, guys have channels and this and that, but people have just become like rude, and their expectations are through the roof. What they expect from people, and nobody can just even have a genuine basic conversation. The other thing that gets me is that when you do match with somebody or you have a conversation and then they don't respond within like 24 hours, like, I just unmatch them because I'm like, okay, I get it. You're just not interested. No big deal. But my focus is right now, and I'm like, okay, it's just been nothing but depressing and nothing but a complete and utter disaster. So I want you to leave in the comments, tell me what you think when it comes to online dating. Have you tried online dating? Have you been successful? Do you go out on a lot of dates? Have people given you the shaft? Now, I was nice with one guy. that I matched with, and we talked a little bit. He kept saying that he was being rejected a lot, and I said, "Well, why? You're a nice looking guy. You seem blue collar guy. Love that." And he's like, "Well, my work hours are preventing me from finding somebody." And I'm like, "Well, how many hours a week do you work?" And he's like, 80. And I'm like, "Yeah." I said, "Well, that's going to be a problem." And I told him, and I said, "Women are going to see you as somebody that doesn't have time to date because you're working 80 hours a week. And then on the weekends, you're just going to be exhausted. That's reality." So at the end of the day, I was like, I'm just giving you my perspective, um, you know, and I was super nice to him and just let it be at that. But, I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. How do you guys feel about online dating? Have you been successful? Have you met a lot of nice people? Have you gone on a lot of dates? What was your experience like? I don't know. So far, being on it for a little bit over a week, I think the experience just stinks. But that's just my opinion. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is anymore. I know that as you get older, the dating pool just kind of shrinks, and everybody's so particular. I I I don't know. I don't know. The only thing I can tell you is, please stop sending good morning messages, and you have no other context after that. Good morning, every single morning. Good morning. Good morning. That gets old and it's boring. Like, have a conversation with them. But I think you guys are doing that on purpose because, and don't get me wrong, I think some of you men have taken the responsibility of getting to know women. Okay. You're just sending good morning messages to probably like 10 people. Okay, let me just send it to 10 women. Let me just see who responds and who engages. Okay. I don't know if you can build a true connection that way. I don't even know if you can build any kind of true connections with online dating. It's very strange. Anyways, thank you for watching this video. Hope you liked it. Uh, yeah, tell me what your thoughts are about online dating, because I just don't have the answers anymore. And I'm still going to search and find the answers. But hey, to each their own. If you had luck in dating, let me know, because I'd like to hear. I don't know. All right. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Have an amazing day. Bye.